I'm gesturing over here like the bomber plane dragon's gonna come over and join us, but he's not. He's not here. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, sushidragonmaster, and I'm in a new spot because there's sun in the window, so yeah. So today I'm doing another How to Train a Dragon related video. I'm going to be talking about Race to the Edge Season 4. More specifically, I am ranking the episodes in order of my least favorite to my favorite. And a couple disclaimers before we get started. If you have not seen the new season in its entirety, I recommend doing that before you come here because I'm probably going to talk about the episodes in more detail and I don't want to spoil anyone. And I mean, if you want to stay and get spoilers, I'm not going to stop you. You can do that. But I don't want you to get mad at me if you choose to stay after I just told you that there will be spoilers. So stay at your own risk. Also, this is strictly my opinion and also my least favorite episode. It doesn't mean that I did not like that episode because I actually did kind of like it. It's just in comparison to the other episodes, I didn't find it as good. I mean, this might be your favorite episode and that's okay. We're allowed to disagree because we're different people. This is just my opinion, so don't yell at me. Okay, so I'm going to go in order of my least favorite to my favorite, which I think I already said, but I don't know. I forget everything the minute it comes out of my mouth. At number 13, I have Out of the Frying Pan. This is the episode where they went to the Defenders of the Wing. I don't know what their island is called. I don't know what to call them. And they were going to help them take the Eruptodon egg into this cave. And the main reason I have it as my least favorite is because I feel like if they wanted to take the thing into the cave, it could have been done in like 5 minutes, but then to make the episode go out in episode length, they just kept making Fish Legs and Hiccup disagree all the time, and it kind of took away from the episode in my opinion, and also I felt like they just needed to add 13 episodes, so they weren't sure what to do and just did that. I don't know, maybe the episode will serve a greater purpose later on. I do know there's 2 more seasons, but as of now, I'm just not finding a great purpose for it. And, I mean, I thought the episode was enjoyable to an extent. I'm pretty sure I laughed a couple times. I laughed at least once in every episode during this season. But it just, compared to the other episodes, it really was a letdown. At number 12, I have The Longest Day, and this one I actually find extremely funny, and if we were ranking this on humor level, this would be closer to number 1, but we are not ranking on humor level, we are ranking on the episode overall, and I also sort of, for most of this episode, I was just kind of sitting there like, what even is this? Why? I didn't understand why no one could sleep when the sun was out, because I sleep when the sun's out sometimes. I mean, if you wake up and the sun has been up for like a couple hours, you slept during daylight. So therefore, you have the ability to sleep during daylight. I just didn't understand this concept. I also was not a fan of the dragon that they found in this episode. I described the dragon as a bomber plane because that's what it seemed like. I don't understand why they're bringing in a bomber plane dragon because I'm gesturing over here like the bomber plane dragon's gonna come over and join us, but he's not here. I mean, I feel like the Book of Dragons still has some dragons that we haven't seen, but instead of focusing on that, they're bringing in all these other dragons that are just there because they feel like giving us new dragons, which is cool. I mean, make a bomber plane dragon, that's whatever. I just did not like the bomber plane dragon. I thought it was kind of weird, and in the end, I wondered if everything that went on in this episode actually happened, or if it was a hallucination, because in a way, it felt like everyone was hallucinating. And I also didn't like the fact that a majority of, like, half of the plot, because there were 2 plots going on at once. There was what Hiccup was doing with Bomber Dragon, and then what everyone was doing back on the edge. And the whole plot on the edge was just Astrid was talking to everyone like they were little kids. Fish Legs thought everyone was out to get him. Snotlot was completely emotionally unstable, and Heather kept falling down. For number 11, I put Dire Straits, and the reason it's in this position is not because it's a bad episode. I actually think it was a good episode. The only reason it's in this position is because when I had watched it and then came away from it, I completely forgot what the episode was about. When I was looking at the titles to put my rankings together, I didn't know what this episode was. And all the other episodes, I knew what they were just by their titles because I had just watched them. But this one, I couldn't remember a thing about until I saw that it had the Submaripper, and then I knew immediately what it was. But in my opinion, if an episode does not hold up to the extent where you can't remember what it's about 2 days later, it's probably just not a great episode. Even though, like I said, it wasn't bad. It was actually pretty good. I just couldn't remember it, and that's the only reason it got number 11. And number 10, I had originally put at number 11 until I switched it with Dire Straits, and that's Gold Rush. And Gold Rush is when they go to that island with Dagger to find Burke's gold. And the only reason I have this at number 10, it actually doesn't really have a reason. I actually kind of enjoyed the episode. I thought it was funny and I laughed a couple times, but just in comparison to the other episodes, it's not one that I would turn to over and over and over again. I would watch it more than once, definitely, but it's just not the first one I'd look to. At number 9, I have Shell Shocked Part 1, and this is the first part to the season finale. I put this in this position because it came right after the episode where Hiccup and Asteroid finally get together, and now they're like trying to hide it, which I actually had a theory that was going to happen. I just didn't realize how annoying it was going to feel. For number 8, I have Defenders of the Wing Part 2. This was actually a great conclusion to this 2-part episode. Was it worth the wait? Not really. I don't think I'd want to wait like over 6 months before I see like in between Part 1 and Part 2 ever again, but it was a great episode, and I liked it. I really thought it was funny when Mala tried to make Snotlout her king, and Snotlout was like all for it until he saw the lava, and it was funny, and I loved it. It was just kind of what you want in a conclusion, although maybe you didn't want that in the conclusion, but I'm just speaking for myself. For number 7, I picked Twin Tuition, which to me that episode title sounds like you're paying to see the twins. Like, this is the episode where Tough Nut breaks his mace and he wants to fix his mace. So he goes to the exact place where Hiccup tells him not to, because obviously, and gets his mace fixed, and his mace gets stolen, and they go follow the hunters to go get his mace back, but in the end they find out something bigger, and I really liked how the twins actually served a really big purpose in the show at this point, because normally they're just there for comedic relief, but right now they did something big to help move the plot of the series along, and I really like that. I actually thought that I was going to put this episode at a lower number, and by lower number I mean like closer to 13 than it is, but it actually, in comparison to the other episodes, it ended up here. At number 6, I have Saving Shattermaster. I really loved Saving Shattermaster, except the fact that Hiccup wore short sleeves. That bothered me. It was weird, and I will never get over that for as long as I live. For this episode, it follows everyone in separate locations. Hiccup and Heather go to a village marketplace type thing, and they find Dagger, and everybody else is trying to stop Snotlout from death, pretty much. And I just really enjoyed this episode. I really like how Dagger has pretty much, he's a better guy now. I mean, I loved him as a villain, and he will forever be my favorite Dragons villain. He's the best, and he's the best. I mean, he's just the best. Then at number 5, I have Shell Shocked Part 2. And this is the conclusion to the 2-part finale, obviously, because it's Part 2. And the reason that this is at a higher position than Part 1 is because it didn't have that as much annoyingness. They eventually got over it, and everyone found out they were together, and that was awesome when they did, and it was the best. And although I think this was mainly, no, it moved on to Part 2 when, like, Snotlout kept trying to help Hiccup with his gambling problem, and the twins were trying to make Hiccup and Ash feel better about the fact they were dying, and it was so funny. At number 4, I have Gruff Around the Edges. This episode for me was pretty much just something fun and funny, and I loved it. It was a great thing to have after Defenders of the Wing Part 2, because that episode was more serious than this one, and this one just gave you a nice relaxing feeling that you need before it goes back to serious again, and I loved it. It was funny. Gruffnut was awesome and terrible at the same time, and I loved Gruffnut and Toughnut's talk show thing that they did in the Thunder Year. That was funny. For number 3, I put Snotlout. This episode was a great Snotlout episode. I don't think Snotlout really gets enough episodes, honestly, and when he does, I actually don't remember them. This is why I'm putting this one at number 3, because it's actually a memorable Snotlout episode. He had great character development in this one, and I loved it. It was a great episode, and it was one that I will definitely be watching again once I get over watching my number 1 pick over and over and over, which might never happen. For number 2, I have Midnight Scrum. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. I could be getting it wrong, but this is the one where there's all those people after Hiccup, and he tries to hide it from his dad, and then he gets kidnapped, and I loved this episode so much, and until I watched my number 1 pick, I thought this episode would be my number 1 pick. I really liked the Hickstrid relationship development that started in this episode. It did kind of start at the beginning of the season. Actually, it started in the previous season, but it really kept moving and moving, and this episode I thought was a great continuation in the development of their relationship, and I really, really loved this episode so much. But not as much as my number 1 pick, which is Blindsided. This is the episode where Astrid goes blind, and oh my gosh. Do I even have to say why I love this episode? I mean, if we're getting technical, and we're talking about technical things, and like plot errors, and things like that, things that don't add up at the end of the episode, but, you know, it worked out earlier on, but then later on someone says something, and it doesn't fit. I'd put my second choice in this position. But no, we're not talking about that. We're talking about things that I love. And I love this. I love this so much. Although my one thing, like what I was just talking about with like error things, is when they were in that forest thing near that river, and Hiccup tells Astrid there will always be a Hiccup and Astrid, and then he goes to kiss her. She says, "Did you hear that?" So he stops, because he's trying to listen for noises. And then later in the episode, she's like, "Yeah, so are you about to?" And then he's just like, "Yeah, whatever, blah, blah, blah." And they're talking, and she goes, "Well, why didn't you?" And it's like, "Because you said, did you hear that?" And then Hiccup starts making these excuses. I'm like, dude, she said, "Did you hear that?" So you tried to hear what she was talking about. But other than that, oh my gosh, this episode was the best thing ever, and I cried like 3 times during this episode. So that was my rankings for the season 4 episodes. Comment down below and let me know if you agreed or if you disagreed, and if you disagreed, what would your rankings be? I really want to know. I want to get other opinions on this. I want to see what other people thought. If you would like me to do this with other seasons of this show, just let me know in the comments, and you subscribe to see when my next Dragons video comes, because I'm not sure when it's coming, but it's coming, and I will see you guys next time.